lettuce.
One on each side there.
Daisy, all right.
What's on top?
Oh.
More like a let's stuff it in the food.
That's right. We'll sit at the back.
The man's give us something. Ball is sugar. Breakfast.
Then he can run up and down, can't he?
Well, just a snack there. Like
That's right.
food, something to eat.
It's bowing, isn't it, Mummy? It is a bowing, Mummy.
Good morning. It's your captain speaking. Bless me, what? All together now. After you, jolly good. What? Oh, relax. Yes, just get it together. Good morning. Your captain here. We hope you have a pleasant journey. The yawning sound that you hear, it's only metal fatigue. But this is not severe. No, absolutely normal. With this angle and speed.
Absolutely normal.
Oh, yes, absolutely normal. Say, which way is this working? I say, Pamela. See my slippers? What? What mantelpiece? It's not so complicated here, huh? Oh, where's my coffee? What down this coffee? I've got the spoon now. Oh, the spoon. Oh, stand it. What's that rubbish?
Please don't smoke or drink inside the oxygen mask.
Good morning. We'll soon be clear of cloud and into warmer climes. The dawning sun will appear.
Spreading happy times.
Palmy days.
Captain Icarus will take us where the sun
You know you can rely on me.
Don't you see your fears are quite ridiculous? Just put your faith in Captain Icarus. Don't you see your fears are quite ridiculous? Just put your faith in Captain Icarus. Oh, you know you can depend on
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now circling at 33 revolutions a minute, not counting South America, over Mount Ararat, and losing height rapidly, waiting for something to happen, to happen, to happen, to happen. But please keep calm. It won't be long before the experts have fixed us up with a little light music or a song. In the meantime, here is Mr. Skillicorn of the cabin staff to show you some simple card tricks and make us all laugh. Thank you. Once upon a time, each time upon the hour, in his historically accurate hat, punctiliously he stands, his socks are black, the man who holds a ginger lily in his hands. And once again it's too late now for turning back. He waits on the topmost landing of that luxury apartment tower in an optimistical hat, his touchingly confident hat. Under the same blue skylight, walls are bland with scarlet fire extinguishers and pails of sand. And here's the man who holds a full-blown ginger lily in his hand. Opens the door to chiming bells, on where a fragrant lady dwells. Proffers his lily to her feathered bower. She yells softly but shrilly, "Oh my God, what a revolting flower!" And the man with a ginger lily, more or less no hat, waves goodbye to the fire escape as he leaves that lady's flat. Maybe he whispers help, but nobody hears a sound. And he can't be blamed for the thud we felt when he finally hit the ground. The traffic lights of Knightsbridge change at random, and Notting Hill's a twitch with neon light. The dislocated deck chairs lie abandoned as Hyde Park slowly fills with dusky night. Where Skillicorn, in pewter moonshine walking, alone with his desires beneath the trees. The baying moon, his lonely shape escorting, when looming through the silver mist he sees a jaded lady swathed in nouveau riches, who trails a smart bouquet of leather thongs and whistles as she swings her studded leashes. He speaks to her and she to him responds, "Madam, may I help you find your monster?" "Ah, lovely madam, whistling in the dark. Allow me, ma'am, to help you hunt your monster, who hydra-headed hides inside Hyde Park." "You are mistaken, sir, I have no monster. Why should you such a horrid thought assume?" "Madam, you trail the collars of a monster, while he no doubt is honking at the moon." "No monster have I, none through my door squeezes. 'Tis not for monsters I am whistling this tune. I have mislaid 3 lovesick Pekingeses, and that is why I'm stumbling through the gloom." "Your monster, ma'am, you cannot just dismiss. Do not deny him with unlikely tales. Come, let us follow my hypothesis, which must succeed unless, of course, it fails." She followed his hypothesis, alas, where rhododendron bushes formed a cloister. "Let us waylay your monster on this grass. We're getting warmer, ma'am, pious and moister." "Oh, sir, I hear my long-lost monster's sighs. I feel his hot breath on my lovely throat. I smell the smoulder in his molten eyes." "Nonsense, madam, monster's eyes don't molt." Twixt Skillicorn and lady slides the monster. Between their close embrace he somehow eases. Oh, hapless Skillicorn, 'tis at this juncture compounding in 3 lovesick Pekingeses. With panting yelps they fall upon his person, hugging his dimpled knees with little cries, gripped with a strange reciprocating motion, a glazed expression in their oriental eyes. Frantically he struggles to dislodge them. He kicks and squirms and beats at them with stones, while underneath, oblivious to his problem, deliriously the lady sighs and moans. But all in vain, the monster's fled, he's gone, nor will return, for all the lady weeps. The lady leader, Skillicorn, the swan, who has been ravished by a fit of piques. 'Twas ever thus in love for Mr. Skillicorn. He knocks the dog hairs from his pants and he departs. A little stiff, perhaps, not too warm. Into the deepening mist within the park. The dislocated deck chairs lie abandoned as Hyde Park slowly fills with bosky night. The traffic lights at Knightsbridge change at random, and epileptic neon signs are bright. hillside is inclined to be a gradient. You can see the distant Chinese laundry list. If you tilt when passing windmills, be attentive, for the moral of this song should not be missed. Should not be missed. Oh, listen. Oblique were all the Angles and the Saxons. When William's arrows from his bowmen rose, a parabolic curve may have attractions, but Harold watched it far too close. Now William had some trouble with his saddle, and he fell with his jodhpurs in a twist. He was hoist on his own parabolics. Oh, the moral of this song should not be missed. Should not be missed. Oh, listen. Galileo told the Mona Lisa, baby, here's a simple rule of thumb. If you suspend a prune, the Tower of Pisa, you can check if your prune is plumb. For although the horizon's horizontal, piano players have a tendency to list. Jack Sprat was prone to lean, so remember, the moral of this song should not be missed. It's all an optical illusion, and it's my conclusion that the moral of this song will not be missed. Oh, the lighthouse keeper's bicycle was covered with rust and mud. The rattles were indescribable, it shuddered from hub to hub. But twice a day he pedalled the track, 5 miles there and 5 miles back, through hurricane, storm and ice, until he sat in the village pub. 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 The lighthouse keeper's bicycle leans on the lighthouse wall, near the neat little whitewashed vestibule at the base of the tower so tall. The muffled cannon in the caves, the organ wind and the seagull's cry, the baleful moan when the foghorn brays, and unknown ships edge warily by. They're all the company he'll get until his lonely watch is done. And down he winds, stone step by step, and tests the back tire with his thumb. Oh, the lighthouse keeper's bicycle was caked with salt and tar. The brakes, they were derisible, one mudguard swung ajar. But he beat up the track in the north wind's teeth, with the handlebars reading north by east, through hurricane, storm and ice, until his fist closed round a jar. 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 The lighthouse keeper's bicycle's tied up at the harbour inn. In a parlour bar he drinks his fill of ale, both thick and thin. There were tales to tell, and as midnight neared, the tales grew taller and steeper. But the tallest tales they ever heard were told by the lighthouse keeper. He told How each night he had to pass a haunted farm whose ruins scarred stood back from the sea on the lighthouse path. How a ghost stood always in the yard, all clad in white, a spectral hand he'd rear. The barroom chills, the listeners hugged their fright, but the lighthouse keeper said he had no fear, and never failed to wish it a good night. His grave account impressed the simple jury. The silent, smoke-filled parlour was aghast. But a sly one there, who doubted the whole story, slipped out unseen and ran home very fast. He grabbed a sheet, then quickly hies off to the haunted house and waited there. He'd guessed the lighthouse keeper's yarn a pack of lies, and planned a cruel shock to raise his hair. Draped in the sheet he stood. The moon shone eerily. A cold wind whistled round the ruined byres. Meanwhile, the lighthouse keeper, singing beerily, was pumping up his patched and porous tires. Then he struck a match for his nice nickel, plated acetylene light, and clattered away on his bicycle into the depths of night. When he came by the farm now, what did he see? 'Twas haunted for once. "Oh-ho," says he, "here's one that another's leg tries to pull."
Hello! There's two of you there tonight. Good night. Good night.
The man leapt out of his skin almost and fled before the wind, pursued by his sheets like an angry ghost. The lighthouse keeper grinned. Now all this happened a long time ago, before I sowed any oats. The lighthouse keeper died, you know, and he joined all the spooks and the spirits and the ghosts. And they tell the tale at the harbour inn, when the window shines like a lantern across the bay where the waves pound in, of the terrible lighthouse phantom. 'Tis an ancient riderless bicycle, covered with rust and mud. As though hurled by a poltergeist, it'll clatter over rocks and scrub. Twice a night when the moon's at its height, comes pelting down the lane with a rattle of chain, through a hurricane, storm and ice, until it reaches the village pub. Pub, pub, pub. Primroses are blossoming somewhere. They don't compare, they can never compare. But demolition always rates a stare. We stop and stare. You pull down half a town, there's drama there. Across the hills your monstrous engines tear. You wound the land almost beyond repair. You destroy things marvelously well. Who lived here? No one now can tell. What you going to build that we might want to share? New motorways are rising in the air. Fly over here, cross under there.
sagging loops of concrete everywhere. We stop and stare. Too late now to make it our affair. Gone pub and corner shop and homely square. We'd worked it out over 1,000 years. A masterpiece, we lived it, oh yes. Then you smashed it in the name of progress. Build your concrete art centre elsewhere. Vast apathetic sculptures of despair. They don't compare. They can never compare. Primroses are blossoming somewhere. We'll go and stare.
Prehistoric monsters at the bottom of the garden, and he's shaking all the apple blossom down. His skin's all rags and tatters like a split and sodden mattress, and he's tearing at it, throwing bits around.
Why did you roll away the stone? Sarcophagus Blue.
He's slashing at the pansies and your gladiolas, and he's smashing all your lovely flower pots. As he staggers through the roses, he waves his bandaged hands, and he's spitting out forget-me-nots.
I want my cozy catacomb. Sarcophagus Blue.
He's breaking up the sundial with a poem written on it, the weeping willows torn out by the roots. He's thrown the gnomes and pixies in the lily pond with brixies, beating at the arum lily shoots.
That was a place to call my own. Sarcophagus Blue.
He his horrid body through the rockery. Oh, hurry, he's pulling up your pretty little trees. He's standing on the terrace and there's bits of broken trellis and brambles tangled round his back and knees.
I've been evicted from my home, Sarcophagus Blue.
On the window now he's thumping, oh, he's wrapped up like a pudding. In his parcel head I see his frightened eyes. He's full of rents and holes I can see between his bones, and there's nothing there but dust and flies.
I've been evicted from my home. I want my cozy catacomb. It was a place to call my own. Why did you roll away the stone? Sarcophagus Blue. Sarcophagus Blue. Sarcophagus Blue. Sarcophagus Blue. Sarcophagus Blue. Sarcophagus Blue.
Mr. Skillicorn dances, Mr. Skillicorn dances, he does it very well, all by himself, and when he falls, so slow, he floats to the boards on a wave of applause. Mr. Skillicorn's ass hits the floor. Give us some more, dance like before you fell, encore. You can't deny he's falling well. Yes, this was worth waiting for. We laugh, but it's not funny at all, not anymore. Every time he hits the stage, we all of us cackle like hell. But it wasn't funny when the fat comedian fell. We laugh for him, he falls for us, he strips our tears of laughter. We've been falling for years, and after, here comes another time taking its chance. Dance, fool, dance, fool, dance, dance, dance. Where's the rapport we had before? Mr. Skillicorn, you're no longer fun. Outside the trains have ceased to run. We're willing to go home if only you'd admit you're done. You're old, but the moon outside is still young. The night is still young. Mr. Skillicorn dances.
So wasn't I lucky then? I mean, never to have had it off. And the times I've been tempted, it seemed such a useless ornament, stuck up there gathering dust and cobwebs. Phyllis, they said, you must get rid of it. They're so dated, it's grotesque, they said. Well, I can't reach up there, I said. Get someone in, they said. I don't know anyone who does that kind of thing, I said. There must be hundreds. You don't want anyone too big, just a little man, self-employed. Look in the yellow pages. Under what heading? I said. Look, they said, you can't lead a normal life with that up there. Not today. Well, I tried chipping away at it myself, but it's so difficult to get at. And I thought the scar might be even worse than the thing itself, and it's so dark in there. Well, I needed a light anyway, so I thought I'll go and buy a lamp. When I got to Selfridge's, you could have knocked me down with a Bulgarian carpet, such a nice young man. Nobody, he said, nobody these days can consider themselves well hung without a decent chandelier. Really, I said, I didn't know that. Perhaps Modern would allow me to show Modern my examples, he said. Why, yes, I said. So I followed him to the appropriate department, where I spent a long time inspecting his stock, and I must say they were very impressive. But somehow I couldn't quite come to terms with them. Not his. I'm sorry, I said. I'm afraid I can't quite see myself under that. Marshall and Snellgrove had theirs hanging out all the way up the escalator. John Lewis had a huge one reflected in golden mirrors, which was fabulous, but I could never have got it in. So I hopped on a bus to Chelsea to see if there was anything in the King's Road. Peter Joneses were all a bit tired and droopy looking, with more than a touch of pharmacy ache, and very complicated to turn on. So I ended up in Knightsbridge. Harrods really do have everything. I should have gone there first. I toyed for a while with a very trendy fluted one, a sort of beacon with tassels. Art Deco, the assistant said proudly and positively flaunted it, but I said I really fancied something a bit more robust. Somehow it lacked presence. I mean, if you're going to commit yourself to one, you do want to know it's there, don't you? Well, then a gentleman showed me an Edwardian one, very pendulant and heavy. He held it up for me while I measured it, but it wasn't the size I was worried about, actually. It'll come up lovely, he said, giving it a brisk rub with his handkerchief. I'm not getting involved in that sort of thing, I said. It's bad enough for the banisters. Well, we'd reached something of an impasse when the manager came along, and he produced a beauty. Beautiful it was. Large but not overpowering. I could see it would be difficult to get up, but once in position, absolutely irresistible. Anyway, that's the one I had. What a pity, the manager said, as he put it away, that so many people have got rid of the plaster ceiling roses in their rooms, because that's what it really needs to look its best. But I've got one, I said, and do you know, I was just about to have it all. So wasn't I lucky?
All right, girls, that's it. That's that then. Get my gear out and I'll be away. Thank you. See you around then. Yeah, bye. We've got to get out quick because there's some professionals coming in, okay? What?
The radiant smile that springs from the Alsatian
No.
What's he doing?
They'll never get
does
it
not
right.
confirm man's faith in his best friend.
Do you want this on?
Introductions bring a sense of alienation. Farewell's the glum euphoria attend. We try to say goodbye and not offend. To leave without incurring a donation. The spasm round our teeth did not intend.
Only they're waiting.
The radiant smile that springs from the Alsatian. We might remain and share our isolation. And join in noughts and crosses random penned, but the tendency of biros to migration does not confirm man's faith in his best friend.
I'll take this now. This what? This is still.
Adieu, I'm disappearing round the bend. Remember our goodbyes for consolation.
On fond affinities, farewells depend. Introductions bring a sense of alienation. Though no one's under any obligation to wave back should one seem to wave at them. As free-fall divers claim a wild elation, farewell's a glum euphoria attend. Dr. Crippen quickly severed his relations. Our best planned exits to fiasco tend. Jezebel, who pioneered defenestration, was beginning at the last to comprehend the radiant smile that springs